That's excellent. Good.
I can't. Kathy's the only good one on this cruise.
Yeah, Courtney had read that there was only one.
I've never,
And
that's
I'm
never been
bummed,
before.
because that's the second time I was gonna wear that new dress, and I still haven't worn it.
Really?
Well, freeze
Oh,
today.
you're talking about a formal one. Yeah, I got another.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were reading that in the BB King last night, we're like, what?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's sweet, huh? Yes, it is. Did you want some coffee or not? Okay, let's go get it. Yeah, right.
Oh.
I was just reading.
Tissue.
Sure. I always say tissues.
Well,
It can get ugly.
Well, good.
were you? But you don't have to read it. This is when we were at BB King last night, I got this email. How long was this? When you have a chance to read it, but you don't have to read it. It's cute.
New stuff. And spoon.
Oh, warm.
Here you are. Where is everybody listening?
I don't know.
Is it because we're here? Congratulations.
Isn't that cool?
The Dawsons and Thomas is not feeling well. He was down last night.
Oh, no.
So he's, they're just gonna, that's what Kathy was trying to do, a COVID test to see if he's okay.
Doesn't he have a hard time?
Yeah, well, that explains it if he's feeling sick. That's hard. This guy. I don't know where the rest is.
I didn't think of nausea as one of the symptoms of COVID, is it?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, there's like 12 different symptoms. Well, that was COVID one, I'm not sure what there is now, it's probably more than 12. Nausea, vomiting, fatigue, chills.
Do they think that we might have it?
No, but that just being precaution.
Yeah, yeah.
Because otherwise we just kind of stay on board extra.
Oh, gosh. We have to go to Alaska.
I know. Out there.
Don't have it.
We're just teasing, we're just
Yeah,
teasing.
I know, I know. I know, I don't want to go today.
Anyway, so Neil and Crystal, I just hardly have seen them at all.
They started off really strong in the week, but
Well, I thought she wanted
He
to
was
use
funny
the
last
fatigue of
tables
travel.
where she could put out stuff. I thought, I'll just sit over here with us. Because I know they wasn't out.
on their own. I think if their daughter was there, they'd be okay with that. But
Yeah.
mom's
They,
daughter's take it go. So there's a little bit of a struggle for them. And I think Crystal would do a lot more. And like Neil,
Right.
much more. Because really, we've asked them a couple times to go to dinner, and they don't even want to go to dinner. They spend all morning stuffing in their faces, as they say. So.
And yeah, I think she would do more. And then he doesn't like to eat in the dining room because it doesn't have, like last time he didn't eat dinner. But he did.
There's only like one vegetarian option per night, and that's not enough for vegetarian. So he usually goes up to the Lido deck, because then he can see, oh, here's salad, oh, here's
Right.
this, oh, here's this, versus the words.
Right, exactly.
Just a little difference, just perception.
Yeah.
So just fair warning, this next conversation is going to be a little deep, and potentially rough, emotionally provocative. Feel free to cry or need to breathe or walk through, you know, welcome to do that.
Okay.
I just wanted to let you know.
For him or me or both?
I don't know how much we'll be able to track what's going on, but it's gonna be, definitely for you. I think it'll be pretty, well, let's just say last time I did this talk, everyone in the room was crying, including Eric, which was a surprise. I've never seen Eric cry. But it was from a place of gentleness and love, and like opening up doors that had previously been closed. So,
All right. Well, do you have a box of Kleenex around?
do we have a box
Oh,
of Kleenex?
hello,
I
Eric.
don't see one. Let me go see.
That's a very
Yes.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
they said I.
It's like a mirror ball microphone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your talk was very good, and I'm sure Andrew's will be as well. It's a shame that, you know, the other to join it, so I hope you don't mind this intimate talk.
No, that just means it's gonna be a little bit deeper and a little bit richer, just for us.
I'm glad you added Richard.
I hope I know.
No, I
You know, I always
still
get
running.
uncomfortable doing those.
I gotta run back up to deck 6.
She's good. What's about to happen is about to happen to me, so I'm sitting over here praying.
It's nice.
Excuse me. Oh, I didn't. I've been up and down upstairs with Thomas and Kathy's mom and dad, and I gotta go back up to look for mom. Not today. For what today? Oh, I was gonna say, you're quite the man.
Now I wish I lived within a block of the two.
We keep thinking that we could walk towards each other, and then one of my favorite places for lunch is right there, but there's wine there.
Uh-oh, downfall.
It's called the Zen Zen Wine Bar, so,
Oh, I like the name.
yeah, they have a really good, bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich.
That's your excuse for
So
going,
what you
huh?
said you took.
Well, they really do, it's excellent, and bacon, lettuce,
Actually,
tomato.
remember that thing
but
George
it's
brought in?
really good.
This was on one of those cruises.
That's
See
called
how
the
how far away those are? And the roll,
Yes,
they had one
and
the
they
roll later, right
Toast
here.
the bread, type of bread it is. It's really,
Yeah,
they have a couple of other good things too.
okay.
That's what.
So you eat in the middle of the.
Well, we stay one or
Okay.
two, but usually one of us drives.
Oh. I'm thinking I need to go up
Oh,
on the
right
treadmill
there.
this afternoon.
Courtney went this morning.
Cool.
Yeah,
What she was saying.
There you
I
go.
truly was gonna walk it back, but it's so.
It's
cold
chilly.
and
Thank
windy.
Mhm. She tried, but she felt like she was gonna blow over.
The thing that, one of the things I was really looking forward to on this cruise is just sitting out in the sun and reading a book or whatever. But I haven't done it yet. I think yesterday or today would have been the day, but I don't think so. I did go out the other day for about an hour dressed like this as I went on last year. I had my one and only margarita for breakfast. So that was good. You know, I could repeat that, you know, to stay out of the wind.
Well, let Leslie and I know, we'll join you.
What are we gonna do?
Maybe have a margarita. But I'm getting, massage. Courtney is treating me to a massage.
Oh, wow. Good
Very
niece.
nice. I
Yes, very
know.
good niece.
Okay, good deal. Oh, party's arriving now.
Would you like to go in first?
I was just on my way up there in 2 more minutes.
5 minutes.
Wait,
Hey,
no, she told me to come up at 25 minutes.
Set by 1 o'clock. We probably get you the
Sure. That sounds cool.
Sitting here, can I go?
You go, right here.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then Eric will take your suitcases to Embassy Suites.
Barbara.
We end up in that Embassy Suites.
Good deal.
Barbara, the bag right here.
So,
Bill, would you like to sit in the chair or sit here?
I'll do it. Right here.
Thank you,
okay, we'll get started in about 60 seconds while everyone's just reseating themselves. 1, 2, thank you, Jim. 3. Keep going, we got this. We'll lose count without you, Jim. We're at 9 now.
Like that?
Hey, do you need the box?
Well, I got a towel.
Not quite the same.
And I was yelling at you and I saw you getting the thing. Courtney, Courtney, so I was gonna ask you to get me.
Do you need another one? You're good with one? Oh,
Yeah, and she gave me the box.
oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think you want a gym center.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am going to shut the door for privacy. I wouldn't do that now. And this morning we have a lovely volunteer. Everyone give a hand for Leslie. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you so much. Happy, right?
Yep.
We got Leslie back there, happy up here. So,
Happy too.
well, you can be, yes, happy too. Excellent. Happiness all around. So, I want to invite you to bring your attention to the conversation we're going to have today. Today I'll be facilitating a conversation with Leslie, Happy, and another part of herself. This might be a part that is in disagreement. This might be a part that maybe she's feeling angry with herself or doubtful, or maybe she's feeling happy. But we'll explore that as we go. So my encouragement is if you get triggered, if you get overwhelmed, if you notice these things going on, breathe into that space. See if you can hold your seat and provide Leslie a little bit more spaciousness. With this talk, I believe we'll be able to learn something very powerful that we can see in ourselves, in our hearts, and in our experience as well, as this will be what I believe a supportive, healing experience for Leslie and us all. So, as I mentioned before, I am a clinical mental health counselor, and one of my specialties is Gestalt counseling, Gestalt therapy. The details of that are not important. What is important is that we're looking at the whole picture, the whole perspective, the wholeness of Leslie. So we'll begin this conversation gently. There will be moments where I'll ask her to switch, and she'll switch seats. And what this will do is this will be a point where we switch the conversation from one part of herself to another. So as we track that. And then afterwards, we'll conclude, we'll have a little bit of briefing and try to consolidate what's happening here. But again, I would just like to invite your attention to rest with her, to hold her in this safe space, to hold her in love as we go through this conversation. So hi there.
Hi.
So good morning.
Good morning.
So what's going on with you this morning?
had one too many glasses of wine last night. My stomach is a little iffy.
Your stomach's a little iffy from a little too much wine. Okay.
Yeah,
So we got some body stuff going on.
well, a little bit.
A little bit of that. Okay. Yeah, and then if I would like to invite you to see if we can check into that, the tummy stuff, the body stuff. See if you can't ground a little bit more. However grounding happens for you. Maybe it's feeling your feet. Yeah. Feeling your back. Yeah. Feeling your heart. Yeah. And checking in with your mind. Okay, so we got all that. So we have a clear whole person, you right here. So this will be a place we'll come back to a little bit later. But right now I would like to ask, is there any part of you that is having a conflict, an internal conflict? I want to do this and I want to do that, or I want to be this, or I want to be that. Such as, I want to be a good caregiver and I want to quit this, I want to surrender, I don't want to do this anymore. Any kind of conflict with that present for you?
No, not as far as not for the caregiver. It's helped personally that although it's hard,
This is good. You can stay there for a moment.
not to have mom at home. I'm so happy that she's so happy with where she is now. And she's flourishing, and she needed to flourish.
So you're happy. You're happy she's flourishing.
I'm happy she's happy and feels safe where she is.
So you're recognizing her safety in this. And then is there another part of you that is judging that you put her here, or is there any conflict around that? Or is it all just happiness?
No, it's happiness. I'm glad she's there. And I'm glad that my sisters, we all kind of have a part in what we do. I lived with her for 7 years before she went into Hidden Springs. And Valley and Jeff took care of her money and making sure that all of that was taken care of and paying the bills, so I didn't have to take care of that also. And that was a big help.
So you're receiving a lot of support, a lot of help.
My older sister takes her to Abilene with her for a couple of weeks every so often. So the bottom line is I'm happy because she's happy.
You're happy because she's happy. Yeah. And what about yourself? Are you happy just with you in this role you're in now?
Yeah, it's hard living in a 4,000 square foot house. Thank goodness Courtney and Justin are there with me, but I guess the only other thing that I can say that I'm not happy with is my real estate career right this minute, but it's not necessarily me, it's the market.
Yeah, so there's a lot of happiness here and there, but there's some external factors that you can't control.
Correct.
Is any of that showing up in your caregiving life? There's any external factors that you can't control? Or do you feel like you're able to make all the decisions?
Well, I don't make any decisions when it comes to mom by myself. And Valley doesn't make the decision by herself. Jeff and Valley and I, because we're so close, Liz being in Abilene, pretty much make it together.
So do you feel supported in making decisions? Or do you feel kind of like an island talking to another island? Talking to another island?
Sometimes.
What was that laughter there?
I guess it's hard. It's just a different space that my sister and I are in.
Just a different space. You mentioned hard. Yeah. And when you check into that hard, is there an emotion tied to that? Anger, frustration, doubt, confusion, sadness.
Probably anger and frustration.
Yeah.
More than the rest of what you mentioned.
Good. Good. Okay, so this is good. So we've tracked that. There's you happy here, right? This is you. And then there's this part of you that's really happy and grateful and feels supported. But there's also this part of you that feels angry and frustrated. Is that right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So what we're going to invite is, and you can choose which chair represents which, but if you want to choose a chair that represents the anger and frustration, and the part of you that just feels really happy and supported in that. Does it feel good to stay here in this happy and supported place?
I like this place.
Okay. So that's good.
It's more comfortable.
It's more comfortable, yeah. So what we might invite is to step a little bit into discomfort, so we can get to explore this anger a little bit more. How does that
I
sound?
don't know if it's anger.
Yeah. Okay.
Not mad. Frustration is better.
Frustration is more accurate.
Um,
Okay, good. I'd like to invite you to switch here. And so this part of you that's frustrated, I'll just call it frustration. So frustration, you just heard from this happy part, this joyful part, that you feel supported most of the time, that you feel that you've made good decisions, and yet there's a part of you that's frustrated and angry. So what would you like to say to this other part of you that is happy and joyful? And you can speak from anger or speak from frustration.
oh, okay.
So see if you can't channel that frustration a little bit more. If you need to get angry or whatever you need.
I don't have enough anger to get
Uh-huh.
right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. This anger, frustrated kind of person is happy that Miss Happy is so happy because of her mother. So this person is happy and frustrated.
Happy and frustrated. So this part that's happy and frustrated, does it have anything to say that to this part that's just happy and happy and happy all the time?
Take a minute.
Yeah, take a minute. Okay. Great.
No, I'm proud of that person.
Please switch. So happy, happy, happy. We just heard from this part that's mixed between happiness and frustration that, hey, you over here, you need to take a minute. You need to take a minute.
And I have this week,
And you have.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So what's it like to hear from this part of you that's frustrated that I can take a week? Or I can take this time?
God has put me in a position where I could take this time and take my mother and take Courtney so that they can have this experience as well. So that's another check on my happy list, is that I got to bring them along.
So there's more and more validation that I can do this, I can make this happen, I can bring loved ones with me. So if you want to speak to that frustration, what does it need to hear? What does that part of you that's frustrated need to hear from the happy part?
That every time in any situation for anybody, when there's frustration, it eventually all works out. And you get even more frustrated when it doesn't work out as quickly as you expected it to. But I just believe that I'm learning something in my happiness and my frustration.
Great. Go to the switch.
You'll catch me if I start to fall, right?
I will. That's why we did the fall prevention first.
Yeah, thanks.
So frustrated, happy. This part of you just said that I'm having support. I'm doing the work. I'm here. I have extra love and support. And so, what's it like in your system, this frustrated part, to take that in, to receive that message?
To receive the message that happy with the frustrated,
Yeah.
or
Good clarification.
the happy is confusing me. It's kind of like lessons. I just want to point out again that during the frustration, don't know what it is I'm learning or will learn, but I look forward to whatever it is.
So there's a sense of willingness and openness, and yet there's this frustration that's still there. And over here, this happy part says, well, we're on a time schedule. If you take too long, frustration is going to increase.
It comes and goes,
Comes and goes.
the frustration. It's like, but there's nothing more that I can do to move it along
There's nothing you can do to move along.
that I've thought of.
Yeah, go ahead and switch. So happy. This frustration part just says, I'm not sure what I can do to move it along. So what's it like to hear this part of you that says, I'm not sure what to do?
Frustrated.
Yeah.
Want to get to wherever it's supposed to be that I'm headed.
So there's a sense of being goal oriented.
Yeah.
So if we look to this part of you that's frustrated, and we look to you that says happy, we have goals, we got to accomplish them, we got to get it done, we have a timeline, there's an agenda. Is there a part of you that is able to let that part go, let that agenda go?
I don't know what agenda we're talking about necessarily. For the caregiving part, or for my real estate career, or
in general, you mentioned that you have this sense of frustration, and you have to check off these boxes and get these things done and do something to get rid of the frustration, to minimize it, because it comes and goes. Yeah.
I'm just living through it, I guess.
Yeah. You're living through it.
I don't know what else to do.
You don't know what else to do. Yeah. So that's two parts of you. This is a frustration part, and then there's the happy part that says, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I don't know what to do over here, and I don't know what to do over here. Yeah. Is there a part of you that does know what to do? Deep down inside?
With caregiving, with
In general.
Sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
just live every day to my fullest as best I can.
So would you say that to this frustrated part, that you can live to the fullest every day?
Oh, I think they do.
Yeah.
But there's that underlying frustration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if I'm switching. So frustration, happy, happy, happy just says, well, despite all this goodness, despite figuring out, despite having goals and accomplishing goals and minimizing suffering and the struggle, I'm still not sure what to do except live life to the fullest. So what's it like to hear that in a state of frustration? That you can still live life to the fullest even if you're frustrated?
There's no other choice.
There's no other choice. Flip switch. So happy, happy, happy. This part that's frustrated says, I don't have a choice. What's it like to hear that this part of you doesn't have a choice?
She doesn't. I mean, she's doing everything she can.
What does it feel like, though, to hear that I don't have a choice?
Negative, maybe,
Yeah, negative.
but positive in the same way.
Could you say a little bit more about that?
I don't know. I think we all just do what we can do every day, and both sides of me are doing what they can do every day.
Is there a part of you that doesn't want to do anything, that wants to give up and surrender?
Oh, we all have days we don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
But I haven't felt like that on this trip.
You haven't felt like that on this trip?
No, because there's so much going on,
Yeah.
and we're all so happy.
Yeah. So we've created a system where there's a buffer for that negative feeling. But my concern is what happens when we step out of this safe space with all this extra support, and then it goes back to the very day by day by day struggle where you don't want to get out of them.
I will eventually.
You will eventually.
I mean, there are times when I'd rather sleep some more, and there are times that I get up and go. I gotta feed the dogs.
There's a lot of reasons to get up in the morning.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and switch. So frustration, this happy, happy, happy part says, despite not having a choice, I'm choosing to get out of bed because of the puppies, because of mom, because of the people I love. So what's it like to hear that even though it feels like there's no choice, you're able to make a choice?
Just, of course, I'm gonna make a choice because there is so much support and so many people along the way with me. For mom, with mom. For Courtney, with Courtney. For Leslie, with Leslie.
So it sounds like, yeah, despite all this, you have a lot of support. And my curiosity is this frustrated part, is it allowed to be seen and heard? Can you express the frustration? Can you express that some days you just want to surrender?
Who do I express it to? Or you want me to express it right now? I mean, I know in my heart who frustrates me the most, but there's no reason to dwell on it. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
The situation is what it is.
So let's not dwell on it, but let's speak about it a little bit. Do you want to name this person?
No,
No.
I don't. I don't want to make her feel uncomfortable.
So what just happened is, instead of taking care of your system, it just says I need to worry about other people and their needs more than mine.
It's my mother. Yeah, yeah.
There you go. What's it like to say that rather than
She took care of me for so long. It's my turn.
that's your sense of duty?
No,
No.
not duty.
What is it?
Love.
What's it about? So you can be frustrated and experience love.
Absolutely.
So do you feel like you're able to express frustration and love equally? Or is it all leaned towards just expressing love?
Love.
And the reason why I want to highlight that is because this part of you that's frustrated also needs to be heard, and it also needs to be loved. You don't seem too sure about that.
No. She does feel love, but frustrated occasionally. Frustrated sometimes. But don't we all feel like that sometimes?
What's if we explore the frustration a little bit more? What's underneath there? Is there a core emotion underneath the frustration?
I don't, not that I can pull.
Does the frustration want anything?
Want to?
Yeah, it doesn't have any desires.
I don't think so. I just want to keep playing the happy, being the happy,
Okay.
because it's more fun.
This is more fun.
Yeah, and the frustration that I have is not that big.
Is it that it's not that big, or it's so big that we have to make it small so it doesn't take up space?
Ain't nobody got time for that. For the frustration, I mean, it is what it is.
So happy. This frustrated part just shared a lot about what's going on. And it just says, I don't have a place to be. I can't be here. I have to disappear. So what's it like to hear this part of happy that says, there's a part of me that can't show up, that can't be seen, that can't be acknowledged, that can't be loved?
Is what it is. I don't know.
Is there anything you would like to invite to the frustration from this place of happy?
No, because I want the frustration to stay over there. Because happy is happy.
Great. So frustration, you were just told to go over there. to go away? What's it like to hear that you need to go away?
I've heard it before.
Not the first time. Do you have anything frustration? Speaking from frustration. To say to this part of you that's happy, 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 after just being told to go away?
No, I mean, happy, happy, happy is irritating to all of us every once in a while, but I'd rather be happy irritating than frustrated irritating.
Are you speaking from, so it sounds like you're not speaking from frustration. You're speaking about frustration, but not from frustration.
Yes, it does, but I'm not, I've been on a ship for 2 weeks. I mean,
So it's hard to make contact with those parts that are frustrated, even though it's under the surface.
Yeah.
Let's switch one more time. So throughout this conversation, happy, 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 and frustrated, happy, and Leslie happy, higher self happy. We've had a conversation about this desire to be seen, desire to be heard, desire to be loved, that you feel supported, that you feel you're able to show up with love. And yet, there's a part of you that is not allowed to show up or is not allowed to take up that much space. Is that accurate?
I guess so. I don't view it that way in my happy, happy heart, but yes.
So that's good. Just acknowledging that, right? There's part of us that is allowed to receive, and there's a part of us that we're saying, you can come, but you need to stay in that corner across the room until I say it's time to come out. Good. So just go ahead and touch back into that place where we started first, right? This higher self, feeling your feet, feeling your breath, feeling your back. Got touch with that? So what was it like to have a conversation between two parts of yourself today?
I don't know how to verbalize it. It was,
Kind of motion or movement? Is there any body?
no, I did that too much. Right.
Okay. And this is okay.
It's okay. What's going on is okay. And what I'm the most happy about is that I've been on a ship with my family for 2 weeks and best friend.
Yeah. So this higher self is able to recognize that I can be frustrated, and in my frustration with my loved one, they will still be able to see me, to love me, to be felt. And this happy, happy, happy part is, despite saying there's parts of you that can't show up, I'm still gonna love that part anyways. Yeah. And there was a number of times where you mentioned, I don't know, I'm not sure, I can't put words to it. And what that tells me is there's some integration happening. There's some parts that are now starting to have a conversation inside of you. And it's okay to not be clear. It's okay to not have these answers. Even though sometimes we really want to have answers and clarity. And so I just want to check, how are you in your system right now? You're good. You're happy, happy, happy. So this happy, 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 and this frustrated happy, and the higher self who's here with her family, I want to thank you for the conversation, for the vulnerability. And do you have any final words to this other part of you that was brought to the conversation to?
whatever it is, frustration, anger, whatever it is that the other side is feeling, it'll be worked out in time.
So there's a sense of patience and loving kindness.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to pause, right here in this place of loving a part of myself that is not always socially acceptable, right? And saying, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I love you. So I just want to say that, echo that back to you. I see you, I hear you, I love you. And I'd like to invite you to just say that to yourself. I see you, I hear you, I love you.
To the happy me or to the frustrated me?
To every
or
part.
both. I see you, I hear you, I feel you, and I love you.
Thank you. So, thank you. So, everyone want to give Leslie a round of applause for being willing to have this conversation.
I don't know if it was on.
So what, during these conversations, every conversation we have with the caregiver is going to be a little bit different. Sometimes it's really clear. There's a part A and a part B that are in definite and distinct conflict. Sometimes that conflict is subtle, as we discovered. It's there, it's underlining, and sometimes it's not even, it doesn't feel safe enough to bring itself out. It doesn't feel safe to express that. But yet, it's surrounded in this place of love and kindness. Okay? So my invitation to you all is, as you go throughout your day and you notice, oh, part of me wants to do this and part of me wants to do this, grab 2 chairs and have a dialogue with yourself. When you're feeling angry and scared and frustrated over here, acknowledge it. Oh, wow, I'm feeling angry and sad and scared over here. And see if there's anything different, if there's that joy or gratitude or a sense of closeness with God or spirituality. And you can switch and have that conversation and say, wow, both of these things are happening within me right now. What's being heard and what's being seen? But we always want to ask the question, what part of us is not being heard? What part of us is not being seen? And what part of us is not being loved? Because we all desire love and tenderness and being seen, even those parts that are socially unacceptable to express. So again, there's not going to be a peaceful, lovely bow on this talk. It's just more of a lens to begin to look through. How can I have a both and, a yes and? I can be frustrated and happy all at the same time. I can be in a wonderful, beautiful place, and I can be super upset about a very specific incident or person or an experience. So I want to thank you for your time and for this conversation. And as you process this, feel free to talk to me a little bit more about maybe what came up for you and how you interpret this conversation. And again, I want to thank you for your time.